What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the update notices and breaking them down for the Street Fighter V collaboration, because it is officially the eve of the collaboration, the most hyped collaboration we've ever had, right? We'll see how hype we are after we get through the update notices. There's a lot of stuff going on with this collaboration, and I'm just going to keep my opinions to myself on it until we get more information, because it could go either really well or really awful. So we're just going to hold off on that, but I do want to talk about one thing before we get into the video. Now, as we will establish in this video, there are going to be two separate banners for the Street Fighter V collaboration. Now, the second banner will release on the 29th. It is going to involve Akuma, Bison, and Chun. However, they aren't going to talk about that in the update notices, so I want to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a, I guess, leak, quote unquote, but it's not really. But we do know the typings for the characters, and I want to go ahead and talk about that real quick for the second banner. So on the second banner, of course, we're going to have Akuma and Bison. Akuma is going to be an EX fighter. Let that sink in, because we're going to talk more about that when we get to the update breakdown for banner 1. But he is going to be an AX fighter. He's going to be a purple attack type, which is really, really cool. And then we are also going to have M. Bison as an SS fighter, not a BS fighter. I know your disappointment is immeasurable, but he is an SS fighter and a red defensive type. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that before we get into the update breakdowns, because they don't talk about that, like I said, and I figured that that was pertinent information for everybody. These characters will not be available until the second banner releases on the 29th. Ripped for me, because those are the two characters I want the most, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are the same way. So yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to do when it comes to summoning on these banners right now until next week, but we'll see. But anyway, you guys, I wanted to get that out of the way before we get into the update breakdown. And before we get into all of that, make sure, if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. You already know what time it is. Cue the intro. Alright, you guys, so in the interest of making this as easy on all of you as possible, I am not going to be getting into any speculation or unconfirmed information in today's video. There is a lot of question marks around this update that I get the feeling we'll probably have a lot of those answered once we get to the live stream in about an hour. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to deliver the news to you guys, good or bad. Just going to deliver it to you guys straight, and then we'll talk about any speculation and any of our opinions as we go through the updates and they become live and we have everything answered, because I'm not in a good mood and a lot of this stuff is stuff I'm not excited about. We're just gonna say that, and we're just gonna get into it. So if you guys want any of the sources that I use in today's video, links will be in the description. Deep breath, let's get into it. So first and foremost, what you guys need to know about banners is there are going to be two separate banners for fighters. We are going to have a volume 1 and a volume 2, like we usually see with any collaboration, and the first volume available with the actual update once it goes live is going to include an EX version, yes, EX natively, Ryu as a yellow attack type. We'll see how this works. Luke is an SS fighter, he's a yellow balance type, and then we have Chun as a green defensive type, and she is neither of those things. So basically that is going to be banner 1. As you guys can see, we are going to have native EX fighters that you can just pull, and I'm not excited about the possible implications of that, but we're going to wait for implementation. I'm not going to rant. I told myself I wasn't going to rant. The fighter down below can be met through the Street Fighter V event summon. So this Chun is also going to be an EX fighter. She is going to be a blue balance type. She is going to be available through separate means, which is going to be the event summon, which we will talk about once we get to that point. So those are going to be the characters that are going to be available at launch. For those of us that are waiting for Akuma and Bison, we are going to have to wait an extra week or so. It's going to be available on the 29th, that banner. So that is what we have as far as the launch characters. Of course, that means that we're also going to have ways of getting their memories and other things that we need to talk about here. So first up, we are going to talk about the change-up kit exchange. In the exchange shop, you can use 3 collaboration fighters' memories in the change-up tab to exchange for a change-up kit. So there you guys have it. That is going to be one way that you can get change-up kits for these guys. Again, we're going to wait and see what implementation looks like for all of this. Yeah, anyway, memory combination. During the Street Fighter V Collab Fighter Summon period, you can use memory combination to obtain Collab Fighter memories at a certain probability. So as you guys can see, on 323 with the actual update, we can do this to obtain Luke's memories, and starting on 329, we can potentially get Bison memories. Yay! So that is pretty much what we see there as far as characters and memories for now. And again, we'll come back to this Chun-Li because she is going to be a talking point. Now, when it comes to battle cards, as you guys can see, these are going to be the finisher arts for these 3 characters. We have already seen these characters' trailers, so we don't need to necessarily go back into the card art. As you guys probably already are aware, I enjoy the card art. I think it looks great, so I have no problem with any of this. Now, we are also going to have the special effects back for these, so this is something we've seen going on for the past several months. Not much we need to talk about. It's the exact same 3 effects. Basically, you pull the card, you have a random chance at a random effect once you pull the card, and so that's what you get there. Now, when it comes to anything else, this is our first look at the art for the set card for the banner. Looks really good. I'm very happy with the card art, but then again, I'm extremely biased toward Akuma. And then we also have 2 option cards on the banner as well, and we had speculated that this art here, which we saw in the dev video, was going to be card art, and of course, there it is. So, awesome stuff overall for the card art, but the cards do not stop there. There are a lot of cards in this collaboration. For the event cards, as you guys can see down below, these are going to be Rush Dungeon event cards, so we are going to have this set here. Very cool stuff. Hopefully the effects are good because it is free and everybody should be able to get it. And then we have 2 option cards as well. So in general, we'll have to wait and see what the effects are. Card art all looks great. Not much else to say there. Now these 5 cards here, card art for these, first and foremost, looks amazing, especially this Bison one. It looks like these were ripped straight out of the games. But in general, these here look like they are going to be available through a separate means, even from the Rush Dungeon and the card banner, which we'll talk about, but keep that in mind. So in general, a lot of cards going on here and a lot of different ways to obtain specific ones. So that is what you got there. We'll come back to those though, I promise. Now, when it comes to what's in the pickup summons, there you guys have it, and there you are. That is what's available. And yeah, EX Ryu, great, awesome. Anyway, moving on. Kill me. Anyway, new imprint stones and enhancement hammers. So we are going to have new imprint stones and exclusive collab enhancement hammers. This is something we see all the time. Not much to talk about. This is stuff that's standard. So that is pretty much to be expected. Now, we do have a new game mode. We have Dream Match, which is basically going to be a new PvP mode. Now, this is something that I know a lot of my PvP friends are excited about. There's a lot of rules going into this thing as well. Like, this is like a novel here. I'm gonna wait to talk about this until I actually get to play it and see what it plays like. I'm probably just gonna look for a volunteer in my guild and then we'll just sit down and play around with it, and I'll give you guys a video on this thing. But in general, there's a lot going on. I think that basically what this should end up being is more like a tournament mode for the most part, is what it kind of seems like. But I'm gonna wait and see what it looks like on implementation and play around with this thing, because PvP in general is one of those things where it can either be really fun or really not fun. So I'm hoping this is really fun, but it does look like it should be kind of fun, and I'm kind of excited to play around with it, to be honest. So we'll come back to that once it goes live and we'll play around with it, and I will give you guys kind of a separate video on it. Now, we do have a Welcome Super Mission. The Welcome Super Mission will change to the KOF Super Mission with new rewards. We've talked about this before. They had pre-announced this. So this is stuff that we've largely already been aware of. Just to summarize, a total of 5 Fest Fighters will be given after completing the missions in the Super Mission, and up to 2 memories of the Fest Fighters will be given. And basically, these are going to be the 5 fighters. So those are going to be the fighters there that are available through this. And you're also going to have, along with this, the SS Fighter Craft Shop editions. So what this means is you'll be able to craft an SS Fighter selector by receiving the rewards from awakening the above Fest Fighters twice. Now, it does say that this is available to all contenders. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. I was under the impression that this stuff was only for new players, but it does say available for all contenders for at least the shop combination thing, for the craft shop. So if that's the case, I get a free Kyo memory for his eventual EX. Yay. But in general, that is something we'll have to wait and see if it's available for everybody like it says here. I don't trust Netmarble, so we'll see. Anyway, that is what we got there. And then we have a new season of Chapter of Fight. That is something that is always good because that means more daily rubies, and that is what we have for that. So next up here, the events. We're going to talk about these in depth once we get to the in-game event notice, but we are going to have a Rush Dungeon, We're going to have the collaboration challenge dungeon Path of the Martial Arts. We're going to have a mini dungeon Smash the Car. We're going to have the login bonus, and as you guys can see, this is going to be the login bonus items here. Pretty cool stuff overall. There is going to be a option card here as well. So basically, this is looking like it is going to be pretty cool. This guy here is going to be one of those boxes that is going to be kind of like a Russian nesting doll. We had this before. I think it was for a BS generic memory or an SS generic memory. I don't remember which. But basically, after X amount of days, you can open the next box and it'll contain another box. And then X amount of days later, you can open that box and eventually you'll get the final reward in the box. So that's what the 14-day reward is. You see your hammers there. There's all kinds of stuff on this thing. Not looking too shabby. These guys here are going to be important to talk about once we get there. But in general, you guys, that is what we have. We also have some dispatch rewards in here. So good stuff overall. Now, we're also going to have a carnival event. Interesting. So basically, we are going to have a lot of stuff going on here. Guild Raid event boss Ryu. So we had known that we were going to be getting a specific Guild Raid event boss, and it is Ryu. I wish it would have been Bison or Kuma, but hey, it's not Evil Ryu. Evil Ryu? I don't know what they were going for there. They could have just used Evil Ryu. Doesn't look like Evil Ryu to me. I mean, I guess loosely. Whatever. Anyway, Chun-Li's event craft. So an event will proceed where you can use the craft coins. Again, remember those coins. We're going to talk about this quite a bit. Obtained from the mini dungeon event and the Street Fighter V event, summoned to craft battle cards and other rewards. There you go. So there's going to be a lot to talk about with these events when we get there. The Codex. Codex is back. We've all seen this before. Not much to talk about there. So then we also have the event summons. In this, you can see we are going to have those cards we had said we'll come back to, and then of course this Chun-Li. So as you guys can see, this is very similar to what we had with Saul Bad Guy during the Guilty Gear collaboration. So that's what we have going on here. We are going to be able to obtain some extra option cards. Again, those card arts look very, very cool. We'll be able to get memories for Chun-Li and so on and so forth. But that is what we have going on there. Tons of different items in there. I'm sure that this thing is going to be really fun and really cool because the Saul one ended up being a really cool part of that collaboration when we had the Guilty Gear collab as well. Now, we also are going to have the celebration event missions. Now, as I said, these coins here are very important, and we are going to have a special event mission. For those of you out there who remember the Dead or Alive 6 collaboration, you're probably having flashbacks to these things. Hopefully this thing is going to be merciful. We'll see. But again, these things tend to be pretty fun. I'm not really all that worried about it, although they do eventually get to a point where they slow down to the point where it's a crawl and it's not as fun anymore. So yeah, it's a mixed bag with those, but it is coming back, and as you guys can see there, those are some of the missions. So we're also going to have battle passes. Figured they want the money, so we'll talk about those when they go live. Not much to talk about there. Now, we do have new packages. The new packages, again, we always go through these at a later date once the events are actually live and we can take a look at them in game. I'm not going to go through this thing in today's video, so that's that. We'll talk about that later when it goes live. So that is going to be the update notice, you guys. In general, there's a lot of events, a lot of events. We're going to talk more about those in the in-game event notice. I just wanted to kind of quickly go through those. When it comes to the characters, I'm really worried about what they're going to do with this EX thing. I don't know what this means. We're going to wait and see. Again, I'm not going to get into any speculation. So with that being said, that is going to be that. Let's talk about the in-game event notice though, because now we can actually get into some details on some of this stuff. So first and foremost, we are going to have the Rush Dungeon, and I'm going to put any pertinent screenshots up on screen for you guys as we go through these, but we are going to have a Rush Dungeon available as per usual based around this collaboration. You guys already saw some of the cards that will be available in the exchange shop, so I don't need to go back through all of that, but that is going to be available starting on the actual update day. So a Rush Dungeon is always fun. It's always good stuff. Again, you don't want to start grinding until that final EX stage opens up, but there you have it, and there you are. Now, we are going to have the challenge dungeon here. Now, this is basically, for lack of a better term, the tower. So this is going to be the new tower. So they had already talked about this. Basically, they are going to allow us to clear this and get more rewards. We knew this was coming. So hopefully the rewards for this thing are good. We've all seen these towers. Now, you are going to need a Street Fighter V character to go through this and play this. So basically, you have to have a Street Fighter V collaboration fighter in order to do it. But hopefully the rewards end up being worth it, because typically speaking, these towers historically have been extremely good when it comes to any sort of rewards, and hopefully that continues. So that's pretty much the tower, you guys. The login we already talked about. You guys have now seen where you're going to be using these coins and why they're going to be important, like I had mentioned when we previously talked about this. I'm not going to go back through this because we already saw this, but that is the login bonus this time around. Now we are going to have special relay gift box. Now this special relay gift box is this guy here. Like I told you guys, this is going to be one of those boxes that you're going to have to wait X amount of days to continue opening over and over and over again. And so basically it looks like this thing is going to take a while because there are 5 total boxes. So basically a box in a box in a box in a box in a box. I think that was 5. So anyway, that is pretty much what you got there. We've already talked about this, so we're going to move on. The Smash the Car mini dungeon. This thing looks like it's going to be fun. So basically, it's Smash the Car mini dungeon. It's an homage to Street Fighter. I'm sure you guys are all familiar. So basically, this is going to be a place where we are going to be able to obtain the event coins, the plus capsules, etc. So those event coins, again, very, very important because those go to the Chun craft event. So we are going to need to make sure that we play this each and every single day. Looks like we're going to be able to play it once a day total. So that is going to be that. And then next up here, we have a carnival. So as you guys can see, this is going to be the carnival here. So basically what it says, you can earn event points by progressing with designated event contents under the carnival rules. According to the rules of the carnival, you can progress with the event's contents to receive points to earn to the corresponding rewards. It's a carnival. We all know what carnivals look like. Not much to talk about. Should be something that shouldn't be that difficult, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with it. Now, we are going to have a new guild raid event boss. This is going to be Ryu. So during the event period, Street Fighter Collaboration Celebration event boss Ryu will appear in the guild raid. The Ryu guild raid team formation rule is that only one Street Fighter V collab fighter can be used. So again, you're going to need a collab fighter for this. The Ryu event guild raid can be entered twice per day with the entrance keys, and the entrance keys will be reset every day at that time. Ryu's break gauge will decrease depending on the amount of hits received, and if hit by attacks that damage over time, then break gauge will decrease faster. And again, there's the picture of not evil Ryu. I don't know what they were going for here. Again, they should have just done evil Ryu, but whatever. There you guys have it. That is what we are seeing as far as that goes. You will need Street Fighter V character to play this, and chances are you're definitely going to want to play this. So that is that. Not much else we can talk about there. It says that depending on the accumulated damage done to Ryu under the time limit, you can receive Street Fighter V guild raid mystery boxes. We don't know what are in those mystery boxes, so we'll have to wait and see. The battle passes, they're battle passes. Long story short, they want you to spend $50. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's talk about it real quick, because I'm not going to get all the way through this. But for the $50 one, you guys will see that the Street Fighter V SS Memory Mystery Box ×2 is here. It is a mystery box, but you also are going to have Street Fighter V Event Fighter Summon ×10 token selection boxes ×3 for both the fighters and the battle cards. Now by selection, I'm assuming that just means that you're going to be able to select which banner you want the tokens for. So there you have it. Good stuff overall. I'm sure that this is going to be a really good overall pass, but we'll talk about it when it goes live. So that is going to be that. Now we are going to have the Street Fighter V collaboration event crafting mission. So as you guys can see, this is going to be a crafting mission. So basically with this thing, we are going to be able to craft memories for Bison and Luke. As you guys can see there, there's also going to be option cards available there. In general, I'm thinking that what this is basically going to mean is that we are going to have at least some hope with getting some of these characters built up, considering the whole EX thing, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, these are going to be, of course, the SS fighters that we can see here. So, you know, that might at least save us some generics and so on. But it's going to come down to how easily these things are obtained and how many we can obtain over the course of this event. This is a fairly long collaboration, so I'm getting the feeling we'll probably be able to get some nice stuff here and probably be able to get a lot of it, but we'll have to wait and see. Some of those option cards you can also see there that we already talked about. So again, it looks like we're going to have a set when it comes to the Rush Dungeon, and we're going to have option cards available here as well, and then we're going to have cards available in that actual event banner. So there's going to be a lot of different ways to get different cards here. Now, When it comes to how we're going to obtain the event craft materials, we've already talked about it, but you're going to need those craft coins. So basically, you're going to have to play the mini dungeon to get these things. So overall, those coins, you're just going to have to try to accumulate as many as possible if you want these different rewards. Now, we also have the codex. Again, I don't need to get into this. We've all talked about this before. It's a codex, so it is what it is at this point. I don't think that there's anything we really need to explain about how the codex works. I think we all know how the codex works at this point. Can we all agree on that? Okay. The Street Fighter V event summon. So this is going to be where, again, you can get more cards. Also, you're going to be able to obtain, of course, different things such as a 5-star EX Chun-Li. So there you go. In general, it's looking like this is going to be pretty cool. I like these types of events. I've already said this. Again, this is where we start to get a little bit redundant because they repeat a lot of information between these two update notices. But in general, I do think that this thing is going to be kind of fun. It's probably going to be something that is going to be a highlight. But in general, the rest of this stuff, it's a mixed bag for me. Not gonna lie to you guys. So again, to get these event coins, there you have it. You're gonna have to play through this board, and then you can go ahead and parlay those into this. So not much of a surprise there. Again, this is just like the Saul Bad Guy event for the most part, from what I can tell. Maybe some minor differences, but the basic idea is the same. So that is that. Then we are going to have a couple of random things to talk about here. We can play Chapter of Fight one time to get our hammers and our rubies for clearing each level of Chapter of Fight. So that's stuff we've already known, stuff we do all the time, not much to talk about there. When it comes to anything else in here, there are going to be new update celebration event missions. Now these event missions are going to be available for the new Dream Match. Now as you guys can see, if you play Dream Match one time, you will get Street Fighter V event coins times 50. And if you play Dream Match and win, you are going to get another 50. And it looks like you can do that every day. So that is another way to get some coins for the event coins. So yeah, they want you to play Dream Match. Okay. I planned on it anyway, but all right. But anyway, it's nice to see that we're getting rewards for it, all jokes aside. So that is what we basically know about this stuff, you guys. In general, that is the update for the most part. There's a lot of questions, right? There's a lot of questions. If you guys noticed, I was very vague with a lot of this stuff going through this and very cut and dry. The reason for that is I do not know exactly what we're going to be getting with some of this stuff. I'm really trying to take the wait and see approach, especially as it pertains to this EX thing. I'm trying not to get overly angry about it. I'm gonna wait for implementation. If I need to make a video ranting or I need to rant about something, heck, like I said, with the stream coming up, we might have a lot of this stuff answered and then I can rant there. Either way, I just want to go ahead and present the news as it is there. There are a lot of question marks. There's a lot of stuff we do not know yet, and there's a lot of stuff that is unconfirmed. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead and take the wait and see approach. But with that being said, I do have some good news. The next thing we're going to talk about in this video is we're actually going to take a look at the Bison trailer, because that was released. Even though I have to wait an extra like 5 or 6 days to get him, we're going to take a look at the trailer, and that'll hopefully scratch the itch until then. But let's go ahead and get into the trailer breakdown for M. Bison, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
Here comes a new challenger!
Alright you guys, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take a look at this trailer and slow it down and break it down as always. Now a couple of disclaimers. I will have the link in the description to the trailer, so if you want to check it out on your own time, you may do so. Also, they do hide a lot of the effects when it comes to these characters' trailers, such as dots, hyper armor, super armor, and etc. So we aren't going to be able to really tell if any of those things are going to be available here, but really all we're going to be able to do is take a look at the skills as well as the 3PG animation and the card art. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this trailer. But with that being said, let's go ahead, start it up here. I've got it slowed down, and let's take a look at one of my most anticipated characters for this collaboration, M. Bison. Now, this is going to be the basic string right here. It's a basic string. However, I will point out that this character, as far as his skill animations are concerned, looks very quick and very, very good. Very strong. So far, this has been the most impressive trailer to me. Now, the S1 is looking like a very tricky little teleport there, so we'll have to see what the range is on this thing and what's going on there. But if it's a teleport across the screen, good stuff. The S2 also looking really, really cool. Again, looking like a bit of a teleport skill there. So this character looking very, very tricky. And yeah, again, if that teleport range is anything to anything that is going to be impressive, then this character is going to be pretty cool. And then, of course, we have the S3, which is interesting. It looks like kind of like a projectile that's around him as opposed to moving around the screen, so that's pretty cool. Then we have the core finisher. It's a core finisher, not much to talk about. It's on the shorter side because, again, it's a core finisher, but kind of tricky how he jumps to the other side of the opponent and then just kind of knocks him from behind. That's kind of cool. Card art wise, looks amazing. I love this card art, probably my favorite of the finisher art so far, but again, I'm super biased towards this character, so if you can't tell. But in general, his animations to me, this character to me just looks better than the rest of them. It could be the fact that Bison's just a more interesting character in general as far as a design standpoint with his different skills. But in general, I'm very happy with what I've seen with him. I'm overall very excited to see this character. Again, look at that. I mean, just look at that. This character looks awesome. So I'm very excited to see him. Unfortunately, I have to wait like 5 days. Because reasons, right? But that is M. Bison, you guys, and he overall looks like he is going to be very, very deadly. I'm very happy with what we got here. Again, we can't really tell anything as far as any of the nitty-gritty details with this character, so we're going to have to take the wait and see approach. But in general, like I said, his skills, as far as those are concerned, look really, really interesting to me, especially for the fact, again, we'll kind of go through them just real quickly here. But if you take a look at these things, it looks like he is going to have a couple of teleport skills on him, which definitely bodes well, because teleport skills, especially if you just teleport around the screen from any range, are extremely good. And it does look like he has at least 2 of them. His S3 is going to be kind of just a barrier type projectile skill that he's going to wrap around him for a few seconds, which is pretty cool. But it is going to require you to be up close and personal, so that's where your teleports come in. So in general, looking pretty strong. And then you have the core finisher, which again, the core finisher, it's a core finisher. There's not much to say. Again, all the effects look really, really good for all these finishers for him. So I'm very, very happy with this character from a design standpoint. Card art looks great. Character looks great. The animations look great. I'm just bummed that I have to wait an extra 5 days in order to play around with him. But with all of that being said, you guys, that is going to be everything that we know so far. Now, we do have in about 30 minutes the live stream for the collaboration on the Korean side, so I am going to be reacting to the first hour or so of that, and that is what I'm going to be doing after I finish up here. So you guys should see that video sometime today. Again, I'm sorry that I didn't go into all of my opinions and all my speculation and so on in this video, but with a collaboration this big, I don't want to do that to you guys, and I don't want to do that to the community, because people tend to take speculation as fact, even though you say it's speculation a million times. So I'm just going to keep my speculation to myself and wait. But with that being said, you guys, that is everything we know so far. I will reserve all of my opinions for when I see this stuff go live, and I will be brutally honest if I need to when that time comes. But anyway, you guys, that is today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe. Again, let me know what you think all this stuff in the comments. You all take care. Peace.
Continue.